Good afternoon. Can y'all hear me? Good afternoon. We're here tonight for a dangerous dog hearing involving Mr. Moss's 3 dogs that reside at 200 Greenwood Road. Mr. Moss's dogs left the property and went over to Miss Tarpley's yard at 222 Greenwood Road, attacked and killed Miss Tarpley's dog named Winston. This is the second time Winston was attacked by these 3 same dogs. Actually, I need to retract that because I think this is the third one. But so you'll find in your folder a conversation between Mr. Moss and Miss Tarpley about the first attack that happened. And he acknowledges that there was a vet bill and makes arrangements to pay for the bill that was acquired by Piedmont Animal Hospital. All that is in your folder. In your folder, you will see a picture of Winston after the attack. You will also see 2 incidents reports. For the first was on March 12th. Deputy Morris responds to the call. Deputy Morris tells Mr. Moss that Animal Services will be in touch. The next report you will see is from March 13th. Deputy Brown, Animal Services, arrived at Mr. Moss's house to start our investigation. Mr. Moss had removed the dogs from the property. He said that his ex-wife had came, took the dogs, and didn't know where they were at. When Deputy Brown told Mr. Moss that he would go to jail if he did not get the dogs back to us. He went and got the dogs while Officer Vincent, Deputy Brown, and myself waited for him to return back to his home with them. You have in front of you 3 different human bite reports involving Mr. Moss's dogs. Based on these 3 bite reports and the killing of Winston, I'm asking the board to classify Caesar, Bella, and Little Man dangerous under the OCGA Code 4821, Responsible Dog Ownership. Mr. Moss has received several citations over the years for his dogs roaming off the property and has proved that he is not a responsible dog owner. In your folder, you will see a picture of the 3 dogs in question. There's Caesar is the white one. Bella is your brown one, and Little Man is the black one. If you'll have a chance, you can look back at your the 3 other bite reports, all involving different cases, delivery drivers, etc. That's all I have at this moment until the end. If you have any questions.
Yes, one. These animals, as a rule, do they run together in a group?
Yes.
Okay.
There's been several occasions we have made contact with Mr. Moss about the dogs roaming off the property. We just recently had him in court right before this incident happened, and he claimed that he had fixed his fences, which the day that we went out to retrieve the dogs, that was not the case.
I'm going to direct another question to Mr. Moss.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions?
Mr. Moss.
Yes, sir.
If you'd like to come up, I'd like to ask you, the animals you have and the attacks that's been reported and here with the deputies and with animal control, do you contest any of those?
I do. I for one, I did not know anything about any human bites from my dogs, not one.
Okay. I don't know if we have anybody here that was bit by the dog or dogs, but we do. So, yes. And but the attack on the deceased dog, do you
Correct.
acknowledge that?
Caesar, yes.
You say Caesar did that?
Correct. Caesar did that.
Why don't you think the others did if they were there?
because the video footage that I have on my property has them nowhere near the fence line during the incident. And Dave, who lives there with me as well, was actually feeding Bella at the time, and Bella was on the front porch during all that went on. I wasn't there. I just got home from Nashville 15 minutes after all that had happened. Actually, probably 20 minutes after all that happened.
You're saying that Caesar attacked to kill this dog on its own?
Correct.
The others had nothing to do with it?
Correct.
How about well, you said you didn't know about anybody being bit. Which one bit the lady?
I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
What was the question? I'm sorry.
Which animal bit this lady? Do you need pictures of them?
My name is Karen Gray, and my husband is Bob Gray. Bob is not able to be here, but we have known Jason for quite some time. And prior to Jason getting Bella and Caesar, he had 3 other dogs. Those dogs were Molly and Mia. Maya and Mia and Little Man. And we walk approximately 5 to 6 days a week. We speak to Jason 3 to 4 times every day that we see him. On one of our walks, they would come out, and my husband walked one day that I did not walk with him. He went back, and Little Man, one of the current dogs that we're speaking of, bit my husband. He went and he spoke with Jason. Jason tried to make friends with Little Man and my husband, and Little Man bit my husband, Bob, in the presence of Mr. Moss. So Mr. Moss is is not telling the truth in this court right now about that his dogs, and he knows that he has no knowledge of any of his dogs biting a human.
Thank you.
I honestly don't remember him biting your husband at all. I mean, I really don't. I don't remember him ever biting anybody.
Mr. Marshall, we have a few human bite reports in front of us, and it looks like each time the dogs were quarantined, you don't remember the dogs.
My dogs
going
have
through-
never been quarantined. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You don't remember the dogs going through a quarantine period?
They've never been through a
Any of
quarantine
your
period.
dogs?
None of them.
Your past dogs?
No.
So the reports we're
When?
looking at are
What
biased?
dogs have been quarantined?
Little Man in particular,
Little Man, I think, is
but
named
they would
in all
be
3
at
of
home
them.
quarantines. We didn't remove
Yeah.
them. They would be at home.
Is that, I remember one time, maybe it was Jennifer coming by and asking me about something about one of the dogs, and I said, no, he didn't get out or he didn't bite anybody. But who complained, I mean, who,
One particular time that I went on a bike case, Little Man had bitten a delivery driver, but that delivery driver was on.
So in 2016, one, two, so
3 dogs.
yeah, there was 3 dogs in this particular attack. Now both of them, Little Man is one of these. I don't know there's 2 black ones and a white one.
Maya, Molly, and Little Man were the only 2 black dogs and white dogs at the time.
Then in 2019, there was a victim bite where Little Man was the attacker in that one.
Who did he bite in that one?
HIPAA, I can't tell you the
Okay,
the
well, I mean,
names
I-
of them like right now, but I have
No
the
one,
reports.
no one's given me
And
any
in
paperwork.
2020, Little Man is also the attack dog on this free bite report.
I've never seen any paperwork on it.
You were contacted on all 3 of these bites.
I mean, that to me doesn't mean anything if you're just coming by and telling me something. Anybody can tell you that the dog bit somebody. I mean, I honestly don't remember him biting your husband at all. I mean, I've been at that house for 10 years, going on 11 years, and The dogs have shock collars on. And as far as the fence issue about coming out, I mended all the fence line. And I have a lady that came in with a company that was doing my driveway, and she filled in, packed in all the fence line that was exposed, that was on the fence line, and then heavy rain came in and washed it all out. I want to say that weekend that the incident happened. So when I got back, I had 2 holes where the rain had come in and cleared out the dirt they had just packed on that fence line. And that's Jessica Edwards Landscaping, or what, I can't remember exactly what the name of it is. But I've never gotten any kind of paperwork or anything about, somebody saying that my dog bit them in 2014. Okay.
I didn't say 2014.
I'm sorry.
16.
2016, I'm sorry.
19 and 2020.
2020, okay.
So there's 3.
But I don't know who they are, and I don't
And then
know.
there's this
And
one
this
that,
one
that
that's-
did not get reported as well, that she just testified to.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I was there. If I was there, I don't remember him biting your husband or anything. I don't understand how you would have done that with me standing there, but
That's
I'm
my-
not calling him a liar. I'm just
Mark,
saying I don't.
can we give Ms. Tarpley a chance to talk?
Well, I think it's Mr. Moss's turn, and
Have you paid any fines in regards to this?
No.
Have you been charged with anything?
No.
Okay. I didn't know if there had been a fine issue when this other animal was.
Ms. Allen,
We were just in court.
were citations issued for this incident?
For this particular incident, the sheriff's department issued them.
For which one? The one that just happened?
Yes.
Uh,
Ayla Morse, the deputy that came out.
On
When
for this?
Yes.
Yeah, for this. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I got a leash law. I got 3 individual leash law things a month ago when this happened. This is they've had my dogs for a month now. So yeah, when they came out for this, I got 3 individual leash law citations
Okay, so you have had citations.
for this. Yes, I have, but nothing previous.
Well, no, I just said you had any citations. I
Mr.
didn't say
Moss,
previous.
I'll stand in my place and say I was with you in municipal court or magistrate court just a couple months ago with leash law violations. You don't remember me?
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
You don't remember the long history
last-
that you've had at your
last-
house over the last 10 years?
Last month, I'm sorry, 2 months ago, when they said that the dogs went over into the yard. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Mr. Moss, we've caught you in at least 3 or 4 lies already.
Mr. Brody, I'm not lying.
Usher.
I'm sorry.
Usher.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the thing there. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to say that I don't know what's going on. I'm just trying to. This thing is the thing that you and I talked about. 2 months ago when the thing happened? Yeah, and I denied them going over there, right? Because I did. I said I don't believe they went over there. And the
You
actual
admitted guilt and paid the citation.
I did. After she showed me the photo that they were over there, because I wanted some proof that were over there. The photo that she showed me was actually a photo from last year. And I didn't even think about that until I got home, and then I was going through some photos, and like, oh, that's a photo from last year. But
But Mr. Moss, you were asked directly by the chairman if you ever received citations in the past. You flatly denied it.
correct.
Your memory doesn't go back more than 2 months?
You can sit here and be this way, yell at me or argue with me, that's fine. I agree with you. You're right. I'm sorry. I besides the 3 that I got for this incident, I got one, a leash law citation. Was it January? Maybe I think January or February. It's January, February, March. Maybe February, I believe. I got one in February.
Ms. Allen, was that the first citations that have been issued, or the first issues that Animal Control has had? Was it the beginning of this year? Or has it gone back further, citations wise?
This year would have been probably the one in February.
Okay.
As far as these 3 bites I don't remember about those at the moment.
Thank you.
When the sheriff's deputy come out, what did he find?
The deputy sheriff that came out on this time or a month ago?
That's Morse, Deputy Morse.
I have Deputy Morris is this one or 2 months ago? I'm trying to make sure I don't say anything else wrong again, so I'm just trying to make sure I lock this down. I apologize.
Well, I'd have to go back and look at the date again, which I can, but I just thought maybe you would remember.
The deputy that came out was a female.
Deputy Ayla Morris.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
That's the one I'm talking about.
And the question is, what did she think?
I've got a report, but I mean, I want to see what your,
The way, we talked at the vehicle, I didn't argue with her or disagree with her. She came and told me that this is what happened, and I said, okay. And I went with her. I signed my name at the bottom of the citation. But she didn't think that the other dogs are involved. She knew that Caesar was the aggressor.
all right. Caesar is also the one that attacked the other animal.
Caesar is the one that attacked Winston next door, yes.
Yes, yes. What do you think needs to be done with Caesar? I mean, he's attacked, how that we know of.
Caesar is an alpha male. Winston is an alpha male. They live next door to each other.
That's not my question.
Well, Caesar's is a harmless animal. He really is. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
He killed a dog.
He did.
He did.
He's,
Yeah, he did. I mean, if I can finish.
now, okay, go ahead and finish.
Okay.
If you didn't start with
So-
a lie, then it would help.
Well, see, here we go. Now, I don't understand what's going on with this. Just if you're just going to keep on talking to me
What
like
he's
this,
saying-
we're never
what
going to
he's
get
saying,
anything
you
done.
say he's harmless, but he's killed an animal. He's
Correct.
not harmless.
Correct.
So, I mean, don't,
Caesar, they've got other male dogs on the property. Caesar doesn't even flinch when they bark. He doesn't care. He's not concerned with them at all. He has a thing for Winston. Him and Winston don't get along. He doesn't like Winston. That's it. That's the only dog he's ever had an issue with. That's the only dog he would ever have an issue with. When Caesar would walk, when Caesar would go over there when he was a puppy playing with the other dogs, somehow Winston and him got into it, and that's kind of encoded in him that he does not like that dog. So when my dog is on my property, just being on the property, and the neighbor is walking Winston on the fence line, yelling at my dog when my dog's in my own property, then Caesar's going to get a little agitated, and he's going to get frustrated because he's got his so-called mortal enemy on the fence line being walked, and that's what happens. I mean, dogs they get coated with like they're mortal enemies, and that's all it is. Caesar wouldn't go after any other dog. He has never gone after any other dog. We've been around dogs, children.
has there ever been any person?
No, never.
With these reports we got on bites, who did most of that?
I'm not saying he did it on anybody, but apparently it was Little Man.
Okay.
Little Man's 15 years old, barely has any teeth. He's partially blind, and he can't hear anything. That's him now.
Yeah.
I mean, back in 2014 or 2016 or whatever, maybe it was a different dog.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, he's not like that. He's got little sprints he can do, and then he's out of gas. When I take him downtown and walk him, he makes it around half the block. When I go downtown, I got to pick him up and carry him back in the truck. He's not doing any of this stuff.
All right, and Bella.
Bella's a playful dog. She doesn't attack anything. She's harmless.
We seem to have generated a lot of reports about these animals, and I'd like to ask you. I'm done. That's fine. You sit down if you like.
But I have-
Anybody else has any comments they'd like to make about this situation before?
If we could let Ms. Tarpley.
Yes, okay. That'd be fine.
And I still have video evidence too, if you want to see that as well.
I don't really know where to start.
Let's give you a name and
Okay, so my name is Erica Tarpley
you live.
at 222 Greenwood Road.
Okay.
Okay. First, I would like to make you guys aware, the fence that Mr. Moss is referring to is a fence that was put up by my family 40-something years ago. It's, it's fallen apart in places. There's been trees down. It's not any kind of secure fence, and he has nothing to do with it. I have text messages in here going back 3 years that start in 2020, asking him to please keep his dogs on his property. I have a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old, and my grandfather is now 80 years old. Winston is an inside dog. He's never outside unless he's on a leash. And we walk him. He is my 12-year-old son's dog. My son takes care of him. He walks him in the morning before school and in the afternoon when he gets home. And I have contacted Jason several times over the years, explaining to him the seriousness of the situation, how his dogs are aggressive towards Winston, aggressive towards my son, aggressive towards my grandfather. I mean, I have proof. I'm happy to give this to you guys. I printed it out. This is very hard for me to stand up here and talk about. I know it's a dog, but Winston was like a family member, and I have been going through this for 3 years with Jason. I have done everything that I know to do to be a kind neighbor to him. He lost one of his dogs one time. I got my boys together. We searched the neighborhood, even after his dogs had been aggressive to my dog. What I witnessed that Sunday was all 3 of his dogs ripping Winston apart. It was like a pack mentality. And I'll just be honest with you. I have my son's hunt. I could have shot his dogs at any point, any time over the past 3 years. And I don't want to kill anybody's pet. I have asked him, I have given him opportunity after opportunity to do the right thing. He's a first responder.
I understand.
His dogs ripped Winston apart. He was outside. Okay, so I said he's an inside dog. He was outside on a run. We were having sheetrock hung in our house, and workers were in and out. And I put him on a run, 10 feet from my back door, because I didn't want him to get out. And Jason's dogs came over, and they attacked him.
Did you witness?
Yes, I went out. Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so I heard the barking, and I ran outside, and I saw his 3 dogs and Winston, and they were fighting, and I started yelling, and they didn't move. So I ran back inside, and I got my pistol, and I ran back outside, and I shot one time, and they went home. And Winston collapsed at that point, and he died. I have no reason to lie whatsoever. And the fact that he would say that it was only one of his dogs, I know the deputy that went over there. I know she saw blood on all of the dogs, because she came back to my house after she left there and told me that. I don't want to have bad energy with Jason. He's my neighbor. I have to live next door to him, but what he has done is wrong. And he is a negligent dog owner, and because of his negligence, I have lost a dog, and I have lived through terror every time my 12-year-old walks our dog for the last 3 years. We've changed the way that we walk our dogs, y'all. We have gone in the front of our property just to keep from enticing his dogs to come over. I don't know what else to say.
Let me just stop you just a minute. Mr. Moss,
Yes, sir.
is she not telling the truth, or she is?
She's not telling the truth.
So you're the only one telling the truth?
No,
then?
I'm not saying I'm the only one telling the truth. What I'm telling you is, I've got video footage. I've got the body cam of the officer that came over, so you can see some of that footage if you want. And I've got the footage of my property during that morning. And I got home, like I said, 15, 20 minutes after all this had happened. But I have a person that was feeding the dogs who was there, and I have my video camera. So that's all the proof that I have for that incident. As far as walking the dogs, and I understand, Mr. Mo, you've had an issue with, you got attacked by dogs at the end of the road. I understand that. But every time you walk Winston, you yell at my dog, and he's not even in your property. And I know that because I've seen it. I've witnessed it. He's witnessed it. I had to text you one evening to tell your dad for you to tell your dad to quit swinging a rake over the damn fence. And my dog was just sitting there looking at him like, what the hell?
Thank you, Mr. Moss. I'll let you continue.
I don't really know what else to say. I have text messages that prove that I have been communicating with him for 3 years. So I'm happy to talk about whatever I need to say, but I personally saw his dogs that Sunday. I saw all of them.
Okay.
So I'm not
So I do have a question.
sure.
So they came one day and attacked the dog.
Mm-hmm.
And then they came back the next day
Right, so,
and
on-
killed the dog.
right,
So he was already warned about the leash law on the
the
one
sa-
day.
This,
And
yes.
then the very next day, the came back and attacked and killed the dog. Okay.
Do I need to give this information to you guys?
If you, we can pass it around.
Would you like to see the video footage?
Does the video footage show the attack?
No.
And I'd like to note that whatever video footage he has, if the timestamp is the correct timestamp. Because he may have video footage of that day, but not of that specific time when all three were in her yard.
You think you need to look at that real quick? Is that on your phone or how is
It's
it?
on my laptop. You can hook it up to USB or whatever.
Do you
whatever
want
want
to
do.
see that? I'd like to see the
And I can at least
time
show you
lapse.
guys, I can at least show you guys how my dogs are in the yard as well. Because they all have.
Well, I'm not interested in how they are in your yard. I seem like I'm more interested in how they are out of your yard at this point. But, you want to hook that up and look at it real quick, get the time frame on it? All right, where's the best place to do that?
Jason.
Wendy, where you think?
Jason can come in and put it on the screen.
Okay, that's what I was gonna say, if you can,
Thank you, Mr.
You want to get him?
okay, that's good. But now, the time that's on here, is it the time when they were attacking the dog or thereabouts?
Correct.
Okay, do you know what time the attack took place?
I know what time the 911 call was placed.
Okay. All right. And you made the 911 call? Okay.
And I have the day before as well.
We only want to see the one that day.
Okay. But they were saying that he attacked him on the day before as well, but I have that footage too, in front of the house.
Excuse me, Ms. Director, what time did the 911 call come in?
It
I've got it here, but I
it
had,
came in at 8:50 a.m.
okay, 8:50, right at 9 o'clock, okay.
March 12th.
Here we go.
Hey, how you doing?
Good,
Doing good.
So it would be the time frame just before that, by the time she realized what happened and.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Moss, out of curiosity, are you on duty today? Did
Yes, I am.
you get special dispensation to be here?
I have somebody holding for me at the station. Okay. You can set it up right here. All right.
We're very sophisticated.
Adrian, where's the time?
Go to the one that actually has the film strip look on it. The other
This
one's
one here?
it should.
That's the sheriff, that's when the deputy pulls up.
All right, what was the timestamp on that?
9/17.
9 what?
9/17.
Okay. So that was 19 minutes after the 911 call.
No.
9/22, 8:47, 8:46, 8:44. All right, so this is fence line from here all the way to the back. Here. On the fence line, there's barbed wire across the top,
All right, so that was at 8, what was the time?
8:44.
All right, and the incident happened at 11:27? That was what time the 911 call came in?
No, no.
8:50.
No, the 911 call came in at 8:50.
Okay.
So there
8:50,
would have been a
8:58.
period of time that all of it took place before she called.
Okay.
All right, click
I
play.
just want to give you,
Alright,
an
click play.
idea. Right here is where there's a hole in the fence, about that big, when the rain came in and washed everything away.
So your dogs are on the way out.
That's Little Man. There he is.
And that was at 8?
44.
Mm-hmm.
There's Caesar right there. You can actually see him running along the fence line.
From their property.
Correct.
At what time?
8:46. And then
Go ahead, Jennifer.
I would like,
8:47 is Caesar going inside the house.
And this is a security system that's not connected to a satellite, right? So
It's
it's
our-
time generated by
Yeah,
whatever
correct.
you set.
No, it's Arlo system, Arlo security system.
I think you just showed us that your dogs were off property.
Property.
Yeah. Yeah.
They never go off property.
so I would like to point out that there is a section of the fence in the front
No,
of his
man.
property.
Wait a
that-
minute. Go ahead.
There's a section of his fence in the front of the property that is missing off,
It's open to the
it's open to the road.
Correct, it's open to the road, but they still have shot collars on. There's a security system fence that goes from the back line all the way down to the yard on that side of the property.
And there's large gaping holes in that fence that we've walked that day. There's a whole section where the fence goes across a little ravine and there's a pretty large section that you can just go right under.
Correct.
It's almost like a cattle fence, not something
So
that would actually.
the
keep
fence
dogs
itself is
inside.
not real restrictive to the
Correct.
animals. Okay.
Correct.
All
But
right.
the only that keeps them in is their collars, their shot collars. The only that keeps them in.
If they have it on.
And they have it on.
Mr. Moss, I'm seeing text messages between you and Ms. Tarpley multiple times. You say, sorry, the collars weren't on, I'm sorry, the collars weren't charged.
Correct.
So, collars don't work if you don't keep them.
That's the reason I asked the callers are on and working. You told me they were.
They were. I was gone for 4 days, that's my responsibility, but I can show you the pattern during the day. I always try to charge them within 3 or 4 days, their collars. But Little Man didn't move. He's not out of breath. That's as far as he goes.
In that frame.
Correct, in that frame. You're right, in that frame.
What kind of collar system do you use?
Is it in the ground or is it air
It's in
system?
the ground.
Okay. Dr. Gadd, will an animal go through the collar system?
They can.
The what now?
They can. Particularly if
I
their
know I
collars,
got one.
right, if their collars are not charged properly, they can learn to go through, and some dogs will actually.
Oh, that's
safe.
wireless.
Okay.
That-
Is that a wireless or
It's a
wire?
wire, it's a
wireless.
pet keeper wireless, so it's not a in the ground
Okay, well,
system,
that's what
it's
I asked, if
just.
it was in the ground, you said yes.
Well, I do have one on the ground.
Where
I've
is
got two systems. I've
All right,
got-
well, what you just showed me and I
With wireless,
asked
yes,
is
ma'am.
wireless,
Yes, ma'am, it
it's
is
not
wireless.
in the ground.
Correct. I've got, one doesn't work for Caesar. The one that's in the ground works for Caesar. The other one does not. The wireless one does not. For some reason, when he goes past a certain area, it beeps, but he can go past it and it'll beep, but he'll get shocked and it doesn't affect him. Like, he doesn't care. So I had to put him on the other one, which is the one that's in the ground.
And I'm just going, from experience, and Miss Allen can even tell you this, I have a Catahoula at home. I had that system. What happened when Slade realized that it only shocks for a second? He disappears.
Yeah.
He's on a lead line in my front yard because I can't keep him on anything else.
Well, I bought a kennel
That's
system.
my responsibility as a pet owner.
And if you have a dog that's got a little bit longer hair, if you don't keep it
And that's what I
shaved
just recently
close,
bought them.
Well,
connected
recently
to
ain't so
where it's got a
enough.
good connection in the batteries, but it's not working.
Sorry.
But what I'm trying to say with this is, with Little Man, it's obvious.
He knows right where he's going
That's as far as he goes. He doesn't go anywhere.
in that frame.
In that frame. Okay, well, I'll take you to the next one.
Well, how about the one before,
Um,
earlier? Because I think the attack happened before, much before the 911 call, because she took the time to go out there and shoot. Go ahead.
let me just go to the,
I just also want it to be known that it is notated in UPS and FedEx deliveries computer system not to go past his driveway to deliver his packages at the road because he has dogs that have been known to bite, and that is notated in the delivery drivers.
I have FedEx drivers come up all the time, every day.
Okay, I'm just telling you what I've been told.
I had a feeling someone was going to say that too. I got that footage here too.
Water service tech was the one who attacked.
By all three of them.
Yeah.
There's your,
I want to know who this person
there's my FedEx package. There's your FedEx driver. He's in my yard. They come up all the time, all of them. U.S. Postal, FedEx, they all come up. The reason I have a box down at the bottom, which somebody said that I haven't done it because of dogs, is because my driveway is disastrous. And everybody here will tell you when they drive up my driveway, they almost bottom out their vehicle. And so when heavy rain comes through, all my gravel just disappears. So instead of having the UPS trucks and FedEx trucks come up and destroy my driveway, I put a box at the bottom so they can just drop all the packages down there instead of carrying up my driveway. And I don't know anything about a FedEx being listed, about not being able to drop off packages. You want to go back further? These are original footage. Second day. Here's that's the sheriff leaving, deputy leaving.
Mr. Moss, we have limited time. If you could show us some videos that were.
Sure. You wanted to see the one before that, correct? Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get that.
Same video.
Do it backwards.
Ms. Allen, what time do you think the attack happened, or the attack? Because it had to obviously happen long before the 911 call, because she went out, tried to get them away, and then got a gun. That takes a while. What do
Yeah.
you think, 8:30?
How long before you called 911 did all that take place?
And I think we saw one of the dogs die. 8:34, 8:47.
I'll go back for you right now.
How soon did you call 911?
Immediately. But I don't know how long the attack had been going on, because he was outside from the previous afternoon, and I was in the shower. And when I got out of the shower, I heard the dogs barking, so I got dressed and went out there, so I don't know how long.
10, 20, 15 minutes?
I really have no idea. I just got out of the shower and I heard the dogs barking.
I would venture to say 10 to 20 minutes before that 911 call was placed.
Okay, the call was at 9:50,
8,
8:50.
8:50.
Okay.
There's 847, 846.
8:46, they're coming running in.
No.
And they're panting.
Yes, they
they're
are.
panting
They're coming running
pretty
from
bad.
the other side.
Who's panting?
The brown one, they're just,
Bell is panting, right? Where's little man? He's on the porch. What's he doing? Is he panting? No, he's not. He hasn't even moved. Now he's wandering inside. He has not done anything.
Do you have some footage from before 8:44?
Yes, I got all the footage here. That's him running down there and stopping. There's his little sprint. There he is. He
We've
stopped
seen
right
this one
there.
3 times. Mr.
Okay,
Moss.
and then we're going back. And that's the footage from 6:54 a.m. I don't have anything. It only picks up when there's movement. So I mean, I don't have anything directly before that.
Well, I was looking at 8:30 in that area.
Okay.
Did they have their collars on then?
Yes. That's 6:54, 6:53, 6:51.
You're going the wrong way.
Okay, I'll go the other way.
Were there shock collars on them at that point?
Yes.
Looks like a
8:44.
collar to me.
There goes.
You hear the bark in the background? I know you hear that bark in the background.
the
All
birds
right.
chirping.
8:46.
No. How about 8:36? Eight.
It doesn't record like that.
Okay.
Unless they're
All right, so when the dogs went out of the house to initially begin with, you've only got showing us little man going out of the house. When did the brown dog and the white dog go out of the house?
Probably
Exactly, you're not showing us that part.
I'm not. It's not me not showing you that part. That's not how the Arlo system works.
It moves by motion.
It
So
moves
your
by
dog's
motion.
moving out of that house
also-
should have been videoed.
All right, I'll tell you what. We'll go look at the Arlo camera when we left the house. When David left the house. I mean, it doesn't work like that. It picks it up when it senses something in front of it. That's all it does.
So
But
the
sometimes-
dog's going through the fence, it just chooses which one, and it's only going to record on little
I
man.
know what you're trying to do, but listen to me. They weren't even here. They were probably on the other side of on the front yard or in the backyard at the
Yeah,
time.
no, no.
I can't tell you where they were because I don't know. But they weren't right here.
But
when
they
it
should have
picked
been videoed going out that door when the motion picked up on the camera when they went out that door.
up. Which door?
That door right there that you say they go in and out of.
Okay.
All right, what time is that right there?
6:51 a.m.
That's almost 2 hours before.
All right, and the next one is 6:51. They're in the front part.
So you do have a camera pointed out front.
Correct. I do. I have a
A
camera.
second ago you said they might have been out front,
They might have been out front, but they were. They're right there.
but at 8:30 they might have been out front. But you don't have footage of that.
I don't, because it doesn't work like that. When it
Well, they come
it-
running
if
from
they're
the fence
moving,
line
then
over there.
It doesn't work like that. Sometimes it picks stuff up, sometimes it doesn't pick stuff up.
So if that's the case, where were they during that time then? If they were out there?
They could have been with Dave, they could have been
But they
in the
could- They could
backyard,
have been on the move,
they could have been on the moon.
but where were they?
I don't understand
that-
the camera
that's what
system.
the-
I know you don't understand the camera system, I'm trying to explain it to you.
No, it's just,
It doesn't make sense, Jason.
All right, how about this? Look at this. I want you to see this footage too now.
I see your dogs often. We walk by.
8:47.
Talking to you.
Mr. Moss, we've already seen this one.
I know, but listen to me, that's what I'm trying to, 8:47, that's the last thing you see on here, correct?
You got it stopped, yeah.
Correct, okay, good. Okay, let's go to the next frame. How come we didn't see the black truck pull up?
30 minutes later.
How come we didn't see the black truck pull up?
Yeah.
Because you made clips. I do
I didn't
video
make clips.
footage all day long,
I
okay?
didn't make
I
clips.
watch bus videos
Why
all
the
day
hell
long
would-
with kids on
why the
buses.
hell
Mr.
would-
Moss, please do not interrupt the board member.
I watch videos every day, okay? I can make a clip and send it to any administrator at any school at any given time, and it's my clip that I make off the video footage, okay? You're making, those are clips off your video footage that you're showing us.
Do the board members have any more questions? for
None.
Mr. Moss?
I don't.
Oh, we have someone that would like to speak.
Yeah, yes. Who would like to speak, please? Come on up, give us your name and where you live, please.
My name is Stephen Gerald. I live at 209 Greenwood Road.
Okay.
I appreciate your service, by the way.
Mr. Ross, you can sit down at the table.
I still have some
Yeah, that's
motion too.
No, we're done with
We're
that
done.
now.
Okay.
I just wanted to add some things, 3 instances that have all happened probably within the last 6 months or so. The first one was, I was out working in my yard one day, and I heard this god-awful sound I've never heard before, and it turned out to be a fawn and its mother just hauling tail across my yard, and 2 of his dogs were right there along with him. I don't know if they caught him or not, but I mean, that was just, his god-awful sound if you've never heard it. The second one, my wife was out in the yard watching this one day. 2 of his dogs attacked a fox. They maimed the fox so bad, the only thing that was moving on the fox when I went out to check him out was his front legs and his head. He could pick it up. He couldn't move, so I took a gun and shot him.
Thank you.
And the third one was over in Mr. Moat's yard, which is at the bottom of my driveway. There was a deer there one day, and I stopped to see if it was dead or not, and his 2 dogs were out there. And one of them was laying down probably 15 feet away from it, and I walked up to the deer, and the dog started growling at me, so I said, okay, I just backed away. But I called Jones County and reported the dead deer, so they came and picked it up. And I love dogs too, don't get me wrong, but I know once you name them, they're a family member. But they've lost a family member, and I know he doesn't want to lose his either, so I'm just giving you guys the facts.
Can you tell me what color the dogs were?
I know one of them was brown for sure, and I'm sure the other one was white, but the ones that
And they
did
were
the fox,
same-
I didn't see them, my
Same
wife
dogs
did.
each time?
Right,
Yeah, okay.
Do you normally see the black dog anywhere
Oh.
around?
I do not. I mean, those, I've seen them before, yes, because I go up the street and down to cut the grass and stuff out there, so I've seen them all over, but not those times, no.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do you have a recommendation?
Based on the evidence that was presented tonight, we have ample examples of Mr. Moss's inability to keep the dogs at home, inability to fix the problems that were presented to him, the 3 human bite cases, and this incident where they killed Winston. I think that we have enough evidence, and I'm asking the board if you will deem these 3 dogs dangerous under the Responsible Dog Ownership Code, OCGA Code 4821.
I still have a witness that was at the house who was feeding the dogs at the time too during the incident.
Did that witness want to speak?
Dave?
Yeah,
Come on up. That's what we're here for.
I can't attest to the exact time, but I was late.
Well,
I
wait a
usually-
minute, wait, you don't have an exact time?
I don't, I can't attest to an exact
I
time.
mean, could it have been prior to?
I have no idea. I don't know. All I know is I was late feeding him. I was on a teleconference that morning. He was out of town and on his way back. And I know the 2 dogs were in the house with me at that time. And that was around David Jarvis.
So you're not a witness to any of this?
No, I didn't see any dogs attack anybody or anything
Okay,
like that.
thank you. Anybody got a motion? I think I've heard enough.
We go into executive. I make a motion to go in executive session.
Go ahead and do what now?
Go into executive session.
Okay. Okay. That's fine with me. Would you like to do that in private?
Yes.
Okay.
So
You
at this
can-
moment, everyone is free to leave. They will be going into a private meeting at this point. Thank you, everybody, for
The
coming.
decision of the board will be made public after Mr. Moss has been notified.
Right.